As we begin with laughter and a toast to the comedian hammered at the roast, demure as the words we choose to honor him, obscure this early human hominid as philosophy's African origins, ungodly deep the matter that formed him, the dog beneath her masters quarreling, the fallen tree these shattered ornaments, the creator as Tyler but anciently, speaking a stranger irony thin and papery, this collage of moments in his cognition, this reportage from the frozen expedition, the sabotage of the poem, its imprecision, the wrath of God, this older than the system, these universal black holes abound, as the pseudo-words his animals pronounce, these frozen figures that so resemble poetry, that most beginners wouldn't know it's just the ocean he's voicing, these waves of unstructured nothingness, the void in him, straight nothingness, the rum he sips. Literature bores me, especially white literature. A dying star, this red light, the written word, as defanging the truth in his early psalms, his deconstruction as diffusing a dirty bomb. Perspiring, he brought a blade to the black wire, a fish in water this Satanist wraps in fire. In 7 nights, God created his satire. His pious tribalists all hated this black writer, though human folly as a metaphor had run its course. The truest jockey's a centaur at one with his horse, as his glues of the hooves of an equestrian. So this Mobutu's of the US and Belgium, his Ulysses still #1 in 23, as new MCs killed humdrum poetry, sexy poems of Eminem, the letters of Yeats, those hefty tomes their penguins disseminate. And that's why white art still dominates, swaying in the morning, these Shakespeares we pollinate, these poets and critics all abuzz like drunk teenagers haunting a construction site. These cinephiles bury their departed like a caterpillar, burying this art you like. And that's why you can't see the stars at night, how they hobble your mind, you walking cliché, small as the lines upon the Greek vase, impossibly fine and the topic of debate, among those refined in a scholarly shape, awash in the waves of anthropology today. A great ape using tools in his habitat as Ye behaved the stupider fool in a MAGA hat. The genius as Einstein to our generation. The people a hive mind as Saruman's creation. These Uruk-hai with their iPhones and Androids, slavish and free to deride the high capitalist. Waves of a sea, blue and shining like Jack with the axe he lifts. And here's Johnny mad as the Hatter is. This weird hobby, method acting for the verisimilitude, playing the fool with a carelessness ridiculed in hallways of U of T. The proletarian, always so beautifully, crystals of snow in the air again. Yeah. These these planets and displaced meteorites, these lost tribes of wog lives erased under streetlights in peacetime. Supposedly as in 23, his freestyles and villanelles openly non-binary, the metaverse, quantum computing, and crypto brought to tears by the majesty of his NFT collection. Jesus Christ would probably be into cryptocurrency. It's wordlessly implicit in his teaching. Is it deconstruction or reconstruction? How deep is your love of him? Evil the husband, is sleep the cousin of deconstruction? Dreaming of nothing, deep his concussion, nothing but net. These naked clarities, pages of Pericles stuffed in his vest, cudgeled to death, his fate apparently, swaying as pear trees, loveless his sex, the sun in the west, plays with the hair of the sea, yea verily such was his text. Nonetheless, his crazy was charity, saintly canaries, these brotherly pets. Poems are wheels in that they do turn, conveying the meanings adept students learn, carrying poets as Aeneas did his father, on wheels of poetry idiots dishonor, the makers listening to NPR, those painters gifted of Emily Carr, those Zadie Smiths, those sexy stars, hazily visible at the weed bar, the Milky Way galaxy unaffected, telling it like it is my message, telling it like it is, just like Aeschylus, melding with life in its vivid style, effortless, white redness, Canadian flags we burn, flying deathless as Shakespeare his dainty birds. I'd leap from the rooftop, but safety first, Canada first, ancient Greece first. Ancient Greece first. Ancient Greece. Yeah, okay. Ancient Greece first. Is it deconstruction or reconstruction? How deep is your love of him? Evil the husband, is sleep the cousin of deconstruction? Dreaming of nothing, deep is his concussion.
Snap the neck off a green beam, something in my eye looking mean. Where I live the culture so lean. Gotta build from scratch this scene. Better take a breath, Put the boar in the tartlet, start like the tortoise, carving out a mortise, then I shilly out the door. See me down at court and I'm swearing on a chicken egg, cluck. Promise to see nothing, I was with the goose at the sun god, sitting with an elder and we fishing till dawn online. Amphibian legs, they dancing to a lady in bar drinking wine. Don't call my Indian a male new Mi'kmaq of the clan Pine Martin, I'm begging with my big claw. Sticky from the terpenes, getting too risky, one of my flaws. Most of my life was an inner city serpent, took a few falls like a little kitty. Parents feeling guilty knew me so damn much, it left me real dizzy. A couple of years in the suburbs, chilling with my auntie and uncle, walking through the halls as the only brown kid I'd mumble. Guess pick a watch or what? Here come a person of the last land. Guess pick a watch or what? Here come a person of the last land. Guess pick a watch or what? Here come a person in the last land. Never scoring nothing for sport, red lines and a score my book reports. Cookie jar full of cat bones, write out my rhymes with an unfinished Bachelor of Arts with a full loan. Never had a handlebar mustache. I'm a half brother, half sister, wearing bad shoes, always getting blisters. Part-time grifter, gender never shifting, split right in half. Barely got an ass, we don't got the math to ship 'em down home. Q-tau list kujmundent, kuma ulian kasultuchik, maktawa mugna musikisk, idugadu, gak to go eat. Q-tau list kujmundent, kuma ulian kasultuchik, maktawa mugna musikisk. a kisk, e doog a doog. Got to go eat around us to gooch. The mountains are beautiful.
Despised as Hitler is, a flying Icarus who flew too close to the sun, his two opposable thumbs in pseudo-wonder, as Trudeau's sons were despised in bitterness. These flying Icaruses who died ridiculous, with 9 and 60 kids, divided as Kill Bill. These fentanyl pills, his rhymes distilled skill, his shining grill brilliant as consistent starlight, the drunken pimp his bar fight, another hidden archetype, this sudden windy dark night, and wintry Arctic ice in front of him these large mice, his delirium tremens, as streets in Venice, or the Greek he perfected, as the teeth of a dentist, as declining Anthropos. Rhymes the rapper boasts, the 10th life of a cat afloat, as red lining to black souls, so the grief of Pablo, to those bleached assholes, realer than rap or the leafy streets of Strathcona, his argument granolithic, street art his math and physics, of the plastic imagist, pallid in sickness, as a page in the blurry rain, or the wake of a hurricane. Illegal as some forms of murder, these police get drunk and order sushi, sort of loopy, his subversive versing is Malcolm X with the sound of a jet, building with the rubble of Greek thought, the quilt unsubtle, his bricolage, these bricks as Ignatz and Crazy Cat, literature valid as A.G. had.
The space we spat was satellite packed, religiously tracked like Usain Bolt's back. The corporate orbit cannot find us in the forest. Leafy organs with my minds on my orchids. Feeling restored and so forwardly florid. Feeling cute might ignore some decorum. Spill some porridge on the Internet Explorer. There's still some hope about the Emerald Ash Borer, but winter warmer and we're wearing Angora. Dolphin endorphins for important fedoras, from Zora to Alora, Lorca to Ghidorah. Distortion and wah-wah, may apples and pawpaws. A tortoise with a sword that is chopping your hat off. Bad thoughts as the billionaires blast off. Laugh lots for the still aware have-nots. I'm glad for frogs when I see them on a flat rock. Can't be stopped like the crickets and the grasshops. Sasquatch with some minnows in the back bog. Nap long in the middle of the rap spot. Vision murky like the water in the bath hot. See it clear like the flooded basement. Swamp step and no wrong steps taken. Strong breath cause we talk with dragons. So what's next? Sing a song for Satan?
Prayers arising as burnt sacrifice, the words he rapped as Christ on the cross, versing in agony rhymes of solid gold. Is it racist to call the whites chalky ghosts? It's all black lives, not most, that matter as this rock rolls. Black lives matter too. The sequel was good for a trifle, as Christ's soul in the Mbarbecue avatar, the cartoon rap bard, striking gold his writing unfolds as the toilet paper, wiping the blood and excrement from your dirty glasses, so you see, like so, on the shore at that time, counting pterodactyls, counting pterodactyls, counting pterodactyls. 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 Yeah. You can only run so far from the microphone and art, ice cold at heart, in the light of a golden star. So bizarre, his sleepy metaphors, this tasty tea we export, the hardest speech as metal doors, guarding the peace we bled for, the darkening sea, the dead moor, his harmony to settle the score, the martyr seated sur la chaise d'or, in an artist's creepy sex store. Can a hard penis end the war? This carnal beat, the flesh torn, his scars unclean with fresh gore, his art replete with red horror, drippy droopy his woolly locks, silly as Snoopy and Woodstock, silly and groovily looking lost as the hippie loopy at Woodstock. You can only run so far from the microphone and art, ice cold at heart, in the light of a golden star, the golden throne and crown of the monarch, as Post Malone, the sound of a cop car, the stoned clone so proud of his pop art, prone to roaming around the stockyard, the ghetto, this number they catalog, unsettled, though drunk on his random thought. It's sexy when something is analog, mentally hung as the flaccid cock, 8.5 as Fellini. It's okay to be mad at his venery. I've made a new path through the scenery. State propaganda, the CBC. These pages of black graffiti. These grapes of wrath we read in his feet. Metrical chaos, the teleosaurus. His penis divorced but really enormous. You can only run so far from the microphone and art, ice cold at heart, in the light of a golden star, golden star, golden star, golden star, golden star, golden star. As Wikipedia, the Roman market, in total darkness, his necrophilia, Anophilia, the floating carcass, the ghost of Carthage, in Tunisia, in amnesia, so his artifice, choked with the harness, this sleepy mutt, with a nose for pollen, his allergy, those souls forgotten attacking me, the tragedy, their fiery vengeance, a run-on sentence, agrammatically rapping for free, his irony and elegance virally spreading, this vast as the sea, black and glittery, his galaxies, we stand beneath. That's the mystery, the past belittling me, these annals that repeat, fallow and green, his tracts of simple trees, distracting in simplicity, random and free, those raps he deletes, trapped in literacy, the pattern complete, he graduates physically